Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Made it to another episode. How's everyone doing today?
Doing good. Happy to be here again. Another great episode we're going to have today with a world traveler out here.
With a world freaking traveler.
Yes, bro.
We have here today Krystal Aziz, world traveler. I mean, anywhere cool that you probably want to go. She's been there, honestly. Turn up God, cool person, so humble, and does many great and awesome things, from a nonprofit to being a director of travel for a great company here in Houston, Texas. So, Krystal, how are you today? Good evening. How are you?
I'm feeling great. I appreciate you guys having me on the show today. Cheers. Let's do that.
Cheers.
We're going to start off the show with good energy.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
A shot.
Oh, taking a shot. There we go.
Wow.
Wasn't expecting that.
Wasn't expecting that. It hit the back of my throat. I'm not young anymore.
I hit the jugular.
I just want to chill.
Oh my god.
Damn, that was not planned. Okay.
I just wanted, I'm great. I just wanted to say thank you again for having me on the show.
For
I
sure.
think it's
Turn
an
it down
honor.
like a little bit.
Thank you guys for having me here. It's an honor. I think what you're doing is actually amazing with creating an open space for people to just talk about their lives, their mistakes, their successes, just life lessons. And I think as people continue to listen to your podcast, it's something that they'll start to want to have in their own personal life with their own friendships and their own families. So I think what you're doing is amazing, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
No, we are so happy, so freaking happy to have you. And really, yeah, that is right. What we would say, that's kind of like our platform from when we were thinking about what we would like look at, what we would like our podcast to be. And it was just like a freedom, just like a blank canvas, right?
Space, reaching out to people. We basically all go through the same problems. We just don't talk about it most of the time.
Exactly.
So it's just reaching out to people, saying, you know what, whatever problem you're having, you're not the only one. You're not the first. You're not gonna be the last.
For sure.
So just giving advice. It's
Not even just that. I mean, also sharing your struggles that we all have.
Yeah.
That a lot of people, like, sometimes they're like afraid of admitting, or they're ashamed of it. Like I mean, for instance, like one of the first episodes was one of our most successful ones. Whenever we were all sharing like personal stories, just being embarrassed about how, not being embarrassed, but like embarrassing ourselves as being immigrants and stuff. So and like, I mean, yeah, just like letting people know that, like, dude, you don't have to be embarrassed about any of that stuff. Like it's.
So with that being said, tell us your most embarrassing story. No, I'm joking.
I don't even know. We're not going to talk about that.
No, but one thing I would love to start off with is just really you talking about and sharing with us, you know, your love for travel. I mean, I've known you for like 5 years now, 6 years going on that, through college, through professional, through working with you, through not just being good friends and family. And you've always been a traveler. It's a true passion that I can see. What got you that passion? What do you love most about it? Just go on about that.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, just to give everyone a little background about myself, both my parents are from Trinidad and Tobago, which is in the Caribbean. It's an island near to Venezuela, if you want to just get an idea of where it's located. They immigrated to the United States in New York, and that's where I was born. So I'm first gen. And I think that's something that I connect with a lot of people on. You know, your parents instill this, you know, we moved here to give you a better life, right? And they have no direction, no guideline on how that better life is supposed to go because they've never experienced it themselves, right? So you just kind of like figure it out. But one thing that my dad knew was travel. He actually worked for Continental, which is now United Airlines, my entire life. So with that being said, I was able to fly for free, which is like a blessing.
Dang. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
I'm not a world traveler because we're rich or anything like that. That is not the case, but we are rich in like our hearts and what we've been exposed to, you know.
Sure.
And yeah, so I've been all over the world, from China, Australia, Egypt, Bora Bora, Dubai, you name it. I put a lot of money towards traveling and making sure that's something that I'm truly passionate about. I just love meeting new people. I love being inserted into their cultures. And honestly, every time I go on a trip, it's so humbling, right? You realize like how grateful you are to live in the States and to be able to do the things that you can do. And also, you know, you take so much for granted, you know, and I really like to see that whenever I go to different places, is be so inserted into their like day-to-day lives and their cultures and their food and whatnot. So that's kind of where the passion started. And then I graduated college with a marketing degree from Sam Houston. That's where I met Noe.
For sure.
We're actually neighbors.
Yeah,
at our
1614 Brook Place.
Yeah, I was 1612. And so
1614.
we would see each other all the time. He didn't call the cops when we threw parties. So he's a great dude. And after I graduated, I was looking for an industry to be in. I wanted to go in oil and gas. But in 2016, that's when the market crashed. So, you know, Halliburton was laying off, all these different places that I wanted to interview for. I was in the process of interviewing with. Just, it wasn't fitting, right? And a friend that was in the industry was like, hey, I think you'd be a perfect fit for Modern Vacations at the time. Now we've revamped to Modern Travel Works. And I started off as a basic travel agent, you would think. I'm like, I didn't go to college to do this, you know, or travel agents still exist. And I'm like, what? But as I've got into the industry, I learned how big it actually is and how much I can be exposed to travel, you know, and it be my career. It's something that I love to go to work every single day. I have been exposed to the entire Caribbean because that's where our market is for our company. We focus on all-inclusive resorts within the Caribbean, and we do destination weddings. So it's like big groups going down to Mexico, Jamaica, you know, Bahamas, Costa Rica, and it's just like, it's awesome. It's an amazing job, and I've been able to work my way up, and now I am the official director of operations for the company.
Wow, yes.
So, I mean, I have a question. I mean, I have a lot of questions actually.
Go for
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna start off where you started right there, where you left off with being a travel agent. Like, cause I mean, I do remember. I used to see maybe like, I don't know where I saw one, but I think I remember seeing like a travel agency place, and it used to be like a walking little office, and they had like a little map on the back or whatever. Or you know where I see them a lot in the like in the middle of malls. Sometimes they have like somebody handing out pamphlets or something like that. Okay. But that's what I thought a travel agent was. But like, so like you were like, whenever you started as a travel agent, like where did you work at, or where's an office like this located, or is it over the phone?
Yeah, so I actually worked out in Katy.
Okay.
And so that drive was terrible.
Pretty far, yeah.
That I-10 traffic is no joke. But we had an office, but it wasn't like a storefront, or it's just like an office in a building. It wasn't meant for people to kind of walk in or anything like that. It's more of just us to work and taking calls over the phone. That's kind of what I started doing.
Okay.
And just because we work with so many weddings, like there's so many people that the phones are always constantly ringing, right? It's not like, oh, I'm just going to book your honeymoon and it's just 2 people. It's like, no, we book one wedding couple and now we have 30 to 100 people that we need to assist.
Okay.
And so it's a constant, like, you know,
it's kind of like a trickle-down effect, right? So if the couple's using this company, then everybody's
using the company.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And how does one get in contact with you guys? Like, where do people usually find you guys? Like, is it like through Instagram or? Yeah,
so everyone go follow Modern Travel Works. You can type it in on Facebook, Instagram, on Google, and you'll be able to find us. We're one of the top destination wedding companies.
And what are the what's like
top level stuff for sure?
Nice.
Yeah.
What's one of the benefits of having a travel agent, as into you kind of like booking your own Airbnb and doing it yourself? Yeah.
No, that's a great question. Well, first you have me, right? No, I'm just kidding. you have a world traveler experience, right? So I'm going to tell you the insights on what you really need to do and what you don't. But our company is built with experts, of people that just love travel in general, right? So that comes across whenever they're selling. And with a travel agent, you'll be surprised. You can actually get discounts with the travel agent. They can probably match whatever Expedia has, Travelocity, all these places, and then you get a discount on top of that. So,
and you get someone to do it for you.
Yeah. So you're just telling this person, hey, I need to go to Sarah and Ken's wedding. And now it's already booked like this within literally 3 minutes, and it's for you. And they're going to tell you, I set up your transfers for you. I set up your flights. I picked your seats. Whenever you land in Cancun, this is who you look for, the guy in the Hawaiian shirt, and they'll be there. They'll have a sign for you, and everything is done for you. You don't plan anything. You can do payment plans. That's what a lot of people like that option too, versus just booking direct or booking,
Yep.
because you book your flights, you have to pay for it in full right there, right? And with us, sometimes you can do payment plans. But we do most of the organization and puts that stress off of the wedding couple, Yeah.
And would this be considered okay? I guess I'm just like being honest to myself. Like,
Yeah.
is this like a luxurious thing? Like, is this for someone that has money, or can anybody just afford that?
No.
I think it's anybody anyone that wants to travel, and we have connections with our wholesalers. So that's how we're able to get like a cheaper rate or, better rooms that you may not see available somewhere else is because we have connections with wholesalers. And so it's for anybody that wants to travel. Like we have some people that reach out to us and they say, hey, my budget is $800 for like a weekend. Can you help me out? Of course, we can do that. Or, we have the wedding couples that are like, I want to spend $25,000 on my trip. And just for their 7 days, or I want to stay in an overwater bungalow. And it's like, okay, yeah, we got you.
And they plan all that out.
Yeah. And the travel agents in our company will do that for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you should work with her. That was
I hired Noe. And I didn't know he was a DACA
DACA
recipient until after we hired him. And I was like, no, part of the job is we get to travel and we get to do all of this. And he was like, oh, yeah, I can't do that. And I'm like...
Yeah, I just had to roll with the punches, It's
he was like, I traveled to South Houston.
How does that work if your job requires you to travel outside of the country? Can't.
I mean, it isn't I wouldn't say required.
No, but let's say somebody's job requires them for.
No,
I think they would have
their
to
job
do
wouldn't.
some
They just wouldn't hire you. They just wouldn't hire you, or they'll have to sponsor you.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll have to sponsor you. Okay.
Yeah. Either or. But
Yeah, dude. As DACA, like, there's a lot of jobs we can't get just because of travel. I mean, just for example, like the CDL that I went to go train for.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of like stops that you gotta do. Like maybe like sometimes you just gotta like go right over to Mexico to drop something off or pick something up. You just can't do that. So
you think that's the main reason why?
No, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of reasons, but I'm pretty sure that's one of them. That just it wouldn't benefit a company to hire somebody that can go out of the country.
There's a bigger liability.
That you have to be able,
Yeah.
And not allow you to like fulfill your full like job, duties.
Yeah.
All right. Well, another question that I had for you, since now going back to the
going
back to the
traveling.
to the part where you say you travel the world, right? And that we're so like we take a lot of things for granted. What's one of the main things that you see that we here in America take for granted that's so like readily available to everybody that in other countries it's like, dang, dude, like over there they don't give a crap about that?
I think we're just Americans are just very materialistic about a lot of things. For example, just my family in Trinidad, right? Like I can remember going to latrine, which is like the restroom outside of the house. Like you have to go outside of the house, use a restroom. It's like a dirt hole that they kind of turn into a restroom, And a lot of, poor countries is similar to that, So just having that. And sometimes we're out there and the current cuts off. So there's no electricity for a few hours, no water. So you're showering in like a bucket, And when you're exposed to those kind of things, you just realize like, I can turn on my faucet in my bathroom at any point and there will always be water here in my house, Yeah. That's crazy, when the rest of the world is struggling to have access to clean water. And just, I feel like people around the world are so much more happier with less things. That's just something that I've just seen.
Definitely.
Like when I was in Cambodia, these people were just poor. The US dollar is like thousands to one. I think I just needed it. It's like thousands to one. So we were like rich when we were in Cambodia, right? They're like, oh my God, Americans. But to them, it was, they were making soccer balls. They were making all these little toys for themselves, because they didn't have access to those things. And these kids are like the happiest thing I've ever seen in my work, And then you hear kids complaining like, I don't have my tablet. Where's my tablet? And they're like throwing a fit, So I think just being exposed to those kind of things, in a way, my mindset is a little bit different when it comes down to materialistic things. Don't get me wrong, I do ball out when I want to, but it's not all the time. And when I am going, when I am going on trips, I know whatever I'm bringing, I'm willing to give it up because if I see something that somebody doesn't have, I'm more than happy to just be like, here, take it. I'll buy it some other time,
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, and then I know also whenever we got in here, we were talking about what I was telling you, that my dream destination was always like to go to Egypt, and you say you've been there, and I was telling you like how hot it is and all that stuff. But I was wondering, like, you didn't quite explain whenever I asked you, like, how do people treat the pyramids there? Like, is it like a whatever thing to them, or they're like, do people still like, I don't know, like, is it a big thing there, or is it not? Like,
so I think to the locals, it's just like a whatever, you
Okay.
know, as like a New Yorker, you know, the Empire State was whatever, the Statue of Liberty was whatever,
yeah.
right? Because you're just local,
Yeah.
it's there all the time. So I think to the locals, it's a whatever to them. But we went with a tour guide, and you could tell that he was just so passionate about the history of Egypt, and you
What's
could
the
just
coolest
feel
thing
the
you
love.
learned about over there?
The coolest thing, there's just so much, guys. Like I
Go
can't
ahead.
even. It would take up the whole
Podcast.
podcast. I can give you my opinion on the pyramids.
Okay.
I
Go
can
ahead,
give you
go ahead.
what I think. So what we did, I did a 2-week tour, and I planned it out for my
Golly.
family. I try to take them on a big vacation like every year now that I'm making money, you know,
Yeah.
because my dad was able to do that for me for my whole life.
sure.
So
Give it
I
back.
told him, I was like, when I'm making money, we're going to get hit all the top bucket list places.
sure.
And that was his number one. That was on my number one too. And so we did 2 weeks, and we flew down to the south of Egypt, which is Aswan. And then we went up to Cairo, which is where the pyramids are. And then we went up to Alexandria, which is like closer to Greece, you know. And so you see the difference within the country. In the south, they're very dark. Like they're very dark Egyptians. In the middle, Cairo is very, you know, like my color, very brown.
Yeah.
And then in the north, they're pale, they're white, you know. And it's just because of where they breed, you know, or where they've been able to, you know, make families
Yeah.
with the surrounding areas, you know. That's why the complexion is so different. So as you're going through Egypt, you also see the history, right? So they'll tell you this is from 5,000 years, this is from 2,000 years, this is from, you know, this is when the Christians came in, you know, this is when the Greeks came in, and they were trying to mimic the hieroglyphics, but it wasn't actually the Egyptians that actually made those temples or anything like that. So it was just cool. It's just a whole history lesson. That's why I said there's so much. But the pyramids itself, when you actually go visit the pyramids, which was such a blessing to even lay eyes on them, there's no hieroglyphics.
Inside?
Inside.
Oh, wow.
Inside, when we went inside, it's like a cool chamber, like if there was an AC in there. When outside is 110 degrees, it doesn't make any sense.
Are they have an AC pumping in there?
No, dude, literally, it literally does not make sense, because you see that we went through the whole history lesson of the whole country, right? And then there's something so magnificent, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't align with everything else that was built around it. It's the oldest thing there, and nothing around it can even compare to it. So, in my honest opinion, I think it was built from a civilization that we haven't either dug up yet, or we just haven't discovered. Because it doesn't align with the pharaonic times.
And this is
that
when we
they
get
did.
to the
Okay.
alien.
Yeah.
Let's put on our tinfoil hats, everybody. Let's put our thinking
No.
caps on.
So
Do you always use a tour guide when you travel, or how do you deal with the language barrier?
It was a language barrier. That's why we did a tour guide. But most of the time we try not to, unless there's a language barrier. When we went to China, we had a tour guide there too, because nobody speaks Chinese. But most places actually speak English. Like they
Yeah.
teach English within their schools, so it is kind of a little easier to communicate. But in countries like that, you would need a
they're
tour
like,
guide.
we're doing our own thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any like scary travel stories or scariest place you've been to? Like you were like, oh dang, this is on edge.
It's everywhere you go, right? I think people think that America is so safe, but it's really not. Like you're more likely to get robbed in Chicago than anywhere else that you travel to, you know, or
Even here in Houston.
I think that my scariest
Sunny
things
side.
have been on planes. It's not even like
Okay,
in,
so what happened?
when we were flying, I think from Phuket, when I did my Asia trip, the plane actually got struck by lightning.
Damn.
Yeah. And
Did you think you
part
were
of
gonna
it,
die?
well, I was chilling. My mom was like, "You need to start praying right now." Like, you know, like, you need to start. And I'm like, "Let me wake up Kimberly," and they're like, "She's like, no, don't wake her up." And I'm like, "Okay," you know, everyone's kind of panicking.
We have no time. Pray.
And it's just because what happens with that is the plane, part of it chipped off. So when you go to land, it's uneven. and you can't. A plane is very like it's built to perfection, right? So if something happens, it's very hard, right? Yeah. Exactly, and it was windy, so the captain actually tried to land a few times and we couldn't because every time we went down, it was tipping to one side because the plane was off balance on the wing where it got struck. So that was crazy, but we landed. You know, I'm here. We're good.
Yeah.
But I would say that's probably one of my craziest stories.
Damn.
When
you went to China, did you visit like maybe the Great Wall or any of that or no?
Of course.
Damn,
That's amazing. I recommend even if you're going to Asia or you're going anywhere, do a layover for like 18 hours or something if you can in Beijing and go see the Great Wall. Because I know some people you have to get a visa for it first of all if you're American, so you do have to file for that. But if you can go see it, it's magnificent. It's just all you're seeing is just like a castle, pretty much.
It doesn't end.
It doesn't end.
As far as you can see.
As far as you can see, and there's greenery because it's so old, that has kind of blocked off some parts. But it's just crazy to think how they got these stones up there, how they were able to build this back then. Who was doing it? How many people sacrificed their lives trying to build something like this to protect their country?
What were they trying to keep out?
Mongolia.
Area 51.
Yeah. Area 73 over there.
Man, it's magnificent. People talk about the wonders of the world, and it is true. Like, they really are wonders of the world. So I highly encourage anyone that can travel to save your money, then do it. Don't wait till you're retired. Do it now. Time is not guaranteed. Highly recommend.
Man, that is super dope. Super dope to travel like that. Definitely envy you on that.
I got so many questions, bro, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm trying to like so many countries that you've been to.
Man, just ask me.
I don't even know. Tell us more about your home country, Trinidad.
So Trinidad, beautiful place. Just a little bit about the country. If you heard of Carnival or Carnival, that's what I think Brazilians are known, where everyone kind of dresses up in masks and they're dancing, parading in the streets. It actually originated from Trinidad and Tobago. So it's such a small island, has brought a lot of joy across the world when it comes down to time of Carnival. I know Canada does their own type of Carnival too. Soca music is a type of Caribbean music, similar. It's kind of grouped in with reggae and things like that. When it shouldn't be because it's completely different, but that also originated from Trinidad. If you ever heard of a steel pan, if you know what that instrument is, it's typically like a piece of steel that's kind of indented into a round shape, and people hit it like this. So that's also originated from Trinidad. It's a beautiful country. It's Trinidad and Tobago because there's a smaller island right off the side, and that's Tobago.
They're the same country, though.
They're the same country, and they're ruled under the same people. So, and you can go back and forth in between. Tobago is more the touristy island. When people come, they go to Tobago. Yeah.
So you say you so you've been around the world or whatever, or how you told us you traveled the world. How what's the span of that? Like from how many years?
As long as you can remember.
I guess what I'm asking is like from what age to what age have you been traveling?
Yeah, my parents said my first flight was when I was 6 months, and I went to California from New York to California. So
that is little.
I have traveled my whole life. I would say the least amount of traveling I've done was when I was in college, of course, because my money was going towards paying for college. But after that, I don't think I've stopped. Like last year, I took about 13 different trips, 14 crazy. Maybe. I was trying to travel every single month. That was my goal for this year too, but then the pandemic hit. But so don't worry, next year I'm coming back strong again.
Coming back stronger than ever. It's already starting in January, right?
December.
December. Where you going?
I have a work conference I need to go to in Mexico, but then the next weekend after that, I'm just gonna go to Mexico just to have fun. Hotel Xcaret, and then in January, our company is doing a host event, so we're going down to Royalton Chic Cancun. And what that means is that our company is being brought down just to bring our clientele to have fun. And it's not like for work or anything. We're just telling people, hey, invite your mama, invite your friends. It doesn't matter. And come out and have fun with me and my coworker, Sheba. We're going to host it. So we're going to be out there. So that's the kind of the caliber that Modern Travel Works is at right now. We get these special type of events and we get to throw those. So if you know anyone that's interested.
No, for sure. We'll definitely shout that out. On the Instagram and really I mean, I want to talk a little bit about Modern Travel Works because, I mean, you work for such a great leader, right? Tim Evans. How's that relationship like? What have you learned from him? You know, because he's someone who is just so knowledgeable, right?
Shout out Tim Evans.
Shout out
Tim Evans.
Yeah.
No, this guy is amazing. He's the president of the company. I actually interviewed with him 4 years ago. December 19th will make 4 years. And when I had the interview, I knew instantly. I was like, I like this guy. There's something about this guy that I connected with. And it wasn't even an interview. Like, he was like, so someone told me you're a world traveler. And that's how like, the whole conversation was about places I've traveled to and, you know, my life experiences. And then, the next day was like, hey, I'd like to hire you. And I was like, okay, perfect. Yeah. But the guy's amazing. He's been able to scale. He started his own company, scaled it to like a $12 million company. Been able to hire employees, keep them on. This year was kind of tough with the pandemic, but
I mean, the whole
that
industry,
didn't stop anything.
Industry,
Yeah,
right?
Once the borders were closed, travel is done, right?
Yeah.
But the minute that it was back open again, everyone's like, "Get me out of this house! I don't want to be in here anymore." Sure. We need to celebrate something, so it's back up and running, and it's all good once everyone stays safe, of course, you know. But just Tim in general, we've been able to be open in our conversation. That's one thing that I hope that everyone has the opportunity to, as working with your employer, not only on just like your growth within the company, but outside of the company. And that was something that Tim from the beginning was like, I want you to succeed everywhere in your life, not only just within this company. And that's such a great mindset to have as a business owner, because if they're doing well outside, that type of energy is going to be brought into the company. You know, you're going to want to excel and just give it all that you can within the company. And that was something that I really took from him. And I don't think I've ever heard him raise his voice, not once. You know, like that kind of leadership being exposed to has just been amazing to me. Like, he's been a great mentor. Together, him and I have started to help people through our Connect Kindness platform, and just great guy.
That's one of the things that I've always like, I mean, try to look for in a company, someone that cares about you, because I feel like now too many companies try to act or do give you the intention that you could be replaced, that you're replaceable, bro.
Yeah.
Like you don't really matter. And that's so annoying, because I feel like any company that really like cares about their employee, you as the employee would care for the company too as well. Like, I've always tried to look for a job. The job currently that I have doesn't do this to me, but I mean, I've always wanted a job where my boss like actually wanted me to succeed, right? To the point where I would be like, bro, don't worry about this weekend. If you need me to come in, I'll come in. But I feel like lots of companies that I work for, it's just like, man, I don't want to come in and work on Saturday. Like, screw that for what? Like, it doesn't give you no incentive to want to move forward or help them or sacrifice more of your time for the company, because I feel like a lot of people don't do that. So, I mean, just you saying that, like, that's really amazing. Like, that someone, like, I mean, you can see why he would succeed and raise that company to where he's at, because his employees care about him and care about his company.
No, I mean, like, the retention is crazy.
It's a family, It's really
it's a family at that place.
And it really is crazy. And that's something that I hope people, when you're seeking for a job, like, it is about the money, but it's not all about the money, right? Exactly. It's all about if you're really happy there, if you're treated well, you know, and if you're passionate about it, right? And whenever I took this job, I know the money the first year was going to be nothing. I was turning down offers that were like 50, 55, and it just didn't feel right. And then I took this interview, and I'm like, this feels right. Like, this is it. And of course, now I'm making, you know, way more money, but I knew at that time I was going to go on what I was passionate about and what I felt was right. And so I really do hope that more people take that into consideration whenever they are looking for a job, because you can accept the money and then you just hate it, and that's just miserable, you know, to like go to work every day and not like it.
No, I mean, it's very important. And Tim really is an amazing guy. I remember when I interviewed with him, it was kind of the same feeling. It was just like, I actually when I interviewed with him, I had a higher paying job offered to me as well. And I just believed in him so much that I was like, I'm going to go work for this guy instead. Yeah. You know, like, he's that type of guy. Like, even just off the first interview and the way it just worked out,
And you guys still even have a friendship after where you at now.
We still have a friendship. Like we spoke like maybe a month or two ago. He sends me some books sometimes, and just a great
guy. That's the guy that sends you the books.
Yeah, he's the guy who sends me the books. Yeah, man.
Talked about it.
Just such a humble, such a good person. Like a true definition of a leader. You know, like even when I was reading the book he sent me, I forgot it was just one page, and then I was like, I read it, and I every time I read a book, I like make notes on it. You know, so.
You're one of those people that writes in the books, huh?
Yeah. But I just sent him. I was like, hey man, like it was a definition of a great leader, and I was like, man, this is you. Like, and I hope everything is going well and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, you can see the way just Krystal speaks about him.
Yeah, if you can find a mentor, I highly recommend it. I don't think he was intentionally trying to be my mentor, but our relationship over the past few years has just grown so strong that, you know.
That's what he is,
yeah. He's a friend. He's a great friend.
That's amazing.
Great friend, great mentor.
Another traveling question, if I could. So traveling, so you've been doing a lot of it. Have you like figured out like a specific way to pack? Like, do you pack like little? Pack light?
Is it a funny question?
Oh, I am the worst. The worst.
Really?
Packer.
Exactly. She's notorious for this.
Because traveling to me just is so easy, right? Okay. So packing, I don't really stress out about. So what happens is, if I have to leave the house at 8:00 for the airport, I'm starting to pack at 7:00. Like, I give myself 1 hour before, and whatever's clean, whatever's getting tossed in the bag, and I'll figure out the outfit then.
Dang. Okay.
Maybe you're just so good at it that
I don't know.
It's natural. I mean, you've done it so much.
I stress out my coworkers. They're like, "You haven't packed yet," and I'm like, "No, I'll do it tomorrow." Like, they're like, "We leave," and I'm like, "It's fine." If I have to leave at 6 a.m, I'm packing at 5. Like,
have y'all seen those memes about Hispanic families being at the airport like 4 hours before the flight?
That's not me. It's like the flight's at 3 p.m. We need to leave to the airport at 7 a.m.
That is not me. I'll be there last minute.
So, what's next on your list for traveling wise?
This year was supposed to be Greece.
You haven't been?
No, I have not been to Greece. That's been on my bucket list. I was going to take my family back in March, but then the pandemic hit. So, and it's crazy because with my dad working for United, when I turned 24, I was supposed to get cut off. Like, I can't fly free anymore, so I have to pay for, whatever my tickets are. And when I turned 24, they actually extended it to 25, and I was like, yes, like we could take, we could go more places. And then when I turned 25, they extended it to 26, and I was like, "Yo, I'm winning! Like, this is
unlimited flying."
Unlimited flying for free. Like, some places you have to pay for the taxes, but my dad has worked there so long. On standby, right? He has he has such a high seniority, and I fly standby. And what that means is that if there is room on the flight, then that's the seat that you get. So when we go on these long trips, most of the time people can't afford first class seats, so the first class seats are open, and those are the seats that we get. Like, when we flew to Bora Bora,
free baby.
When we flew to Bora Bora last year, that's first class. When we went to China, first class. When we went to Egypt, first class.
How long is a flight from here to China?
Oh, you're looking at over 24 hours. When we took the trip, I think it was like 26 hours, and we had a layover in Europe.
Oh, so you went the other way, or is it always going the other way?
No, you could go to California and do that way, but it's based on standby. So literally, we show up to the airport, we pack hot and cold in our bags, right? We get only one bag because you can't check in anything because you don't know if you're actually going to make that flight or not. And then you go to the airport, and then we're on the computer, we're all looking at our apps. Okay, this flight open. It looks like we can make this flight, and then we hop on the flight.
That is fucking awesome.
What was the
last minute? We don't plan anything in ahead. Egypt was the first trip I ever planned in advance, ever, and it took us like 5 cities to get there because the flights were all like crazy.
When I was, I think it was like your Snapchat or something.
Yeah.
You were just like, I'm here. I'm like, you went to like Chicago, right, or something like that.
Yeah, we went to Chicago. Then we went to
New York.
No, we went to Chicago, and then I think we went to Paris. Then from Paris we went to Brussels, and then when we went to Brussels, they were going on strike. All the pilots were going on strike, and we're like, how are we gonna get out of here? And
you land in a country that's like going, like shit's going
crazy.
down.
It was the day that we landed. Like within a few hours, it was being announced that all the pilots were going on strike, and so there was one flight going to Cairo, and my dad talked to the lady and was like, hey, listen, we're employees of United, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, well, you can sit in the jump seats. So the jump seats is what the flight attendants, the flight attendants sit in. You know, those like ones that pop down and just like sit down like buckle in. And they were like, you can pay, this much and you can sit in those seats. And he was like, we'll take it. And then we ended up in Egypt.
Dang.
How long was the flight in those jump seats?
It wasn't long. It was maybe like an hour or something. Honestly, I can't remember.
It's crazy.
From Brussels to Cairo.
That
I had a question. God damn it.
You did have a question.
I mean, think
I know
about
you had
this.
a few more questions.
You traveling to all these countries, have you tried to learn any languages or practice?
She knows French. What?
Bonjour. No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Hey.
I really wish I put more effort into learning languages. I honestly think that there's a blocker in my brain.
How many do you know? Or do you know?
No, I don't. I just know English, and I really struggle with that sometimes too. So
French.
No,
you're like, no, she don't.
No. But Spanish, if I have to learn a second language, it is going to be Spanish. I do Duolingo on my app, on my phone, but I don't think it's like really good Spanish to learn. But I'm trying, I need someone to talk to me all the time in Spanish, but
okay, I have a question.
We can do that.
Traveling all these places, do you have any kind of collection going, like of gifts or like little keychains? I don't know, anything?
Yeah, so when I was little, great question, by the way. I love this question. When I was little, my dad looked at me and my sister and said, pick an animal, and we're going to, everywhere that we go in the world, we're going to make sure you get a souvenir of that animal. And so I picked turtles. I love turtles. Most people don't.
Were you a Ninja Turtles fan?
Huh?
Were you a Ninja Turtles fan?
I was. I love Ninja Turtles.
That's probably why.
I have a Ninja Turtle onesie. Like right now, I'm grown and I still love turtles.
I thought you said you had it under you. Like,
no.
I was like,
have y'all seen that video? The kid that goes,
time to read my true identity.
Yeah, I like turtles.
I like turtles.
What's that?
Oh yeah, so then.
Yeah, they're right.
No, you're good.
Next time.
So. Yeah, I picked turtles, so I have a huge collection of turtles from like all over the world. They're not real, of course, just little fake souvenir ones. But some are like made out of beads, some are made out of shells, some are made out of just whatever they have in that country, And my sister, she picked elephants, so she has an elephant collection.
That's cool.
But now that I've gotten older, that turtle collection is just massive. It's getting too big now. So when I turned 21, I said I'm gonna buy a bottle of alcohol from every place that I go, and my plan is for my house to have like this custom made bar, and I'm gonna have all the bottles, and I label all of them, like the year that I bought it.
And they're still they're sealed right now still.
They're all sealed. They're all sealed in my. I have like a little collection where they're all right now until I build a custom bar. But my plan is to have it all up in my house, and as I keep on traveling, I keep on adding it to it, and when something big happens, I'll be like, pick a bottle, let's open one up,
That's cool.
And get fucked. Nah, just kidding.
Have you traveled to the Middle East,
I studied abroad in Dubai, but that's the closest that I've gotten.
Wait, you studied abroad in Dubai? Mm-hmm. Oh wow, what did you study there?
It doesn't stop. Keep going.
I got a marketing degree from Sam Houston, so international business. That's what it counted towards. And I did like a mini master during the fall, winter break. It was everything that I could have dreamed of. Dubai was my city. I think that a lot of people in this world, they tell you can do this and you can have all this money and you can have these fancy cars, right? But if you live in a neighborhood where you don't see Lamborghinis driving around, how do you know that you actually can achieve that or you can do that unless you see it for yourself? So when I went to Dubai, that city is money, like
money, cash,
money, Ferraris, like the craziest BMWs you can see, the Lambos are my dream car. I'm gonna have one for sure. It's a city that if you ever need to be inspired or you need to know that this level exists.
It's real.
That's the city to go to, and that's what my senior year, that's what I did. And man, when I came back, I was like, let's go. Like
fully inspired.
And I had followed the architecture. Me and my dad had been following it for like 10 years before I even got there. And we always said that we're going to go to Dubai. And then I go without him, and he was like, well, can I meet you out there? I'm like, Dad, no, it's for school. Like, you can't. He's like, well, you sure? Like, do you want to stay a little bit longer? And I'm like, no, like, we can't do that. It's kind of like a set thing. I have to go.
Yeah.
And he was a little upset about that. So I'm sure I'll be back with him.
No, for sure.
And how long did you stay in Dubai?
It was a few weeks. It wasn't anything
It
crazy.
wasn't too long. Just a few weeks.
It was a few weeks.
I mean, how's the weather out there? I know it's hot, but like how hot?
We went in December, so it actually wasn't too bad.
Was it cold? Or
It's still a desert,
no, it wasn't cold.
It's the desert.
It was, I don't know how to explain it. Because it's on the water, right? So you get a lot of that wind at night. So at nighttime, you kind of have to put a jacket on.
Did you
But
experience...
during the day, it is hot, like, 80, 90s, for sure.
Did you experience any sandstorms?
We did not, no.
Oh, okay.
Not when we were there.
Did you visit the, what's it called, Khalifa?
Burj Khalifa.
The Burj Khalifa, I did. I went in it. I went up.
All the way up?
To the
I love
deck.
Burj Khalifa. No,
Yeah. What is it, the Khalifa?
Khalifa?
No, it's the tallest building in the world, so I can say that I've done that. But Saudi Arabia is about to build one that's going to be even bigger than that. So they'll knock it off. Mm-hmm.
Was it going to call it Sky Needle or something like that?
I don't know the name, but I have been seeing. They had to stop construction for a little bit, but they'll finish it and they'll take the title.
Whenever you were there, did you ever wear like the traditional gowns that they have?
Yeah, so so for that class, like during the school year, we had a prep. So it was like a class that we had to go through to prepare us for it. For example, a lot of the traditional stuff is you have to do everything with your right hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to hand someone a piece of paper. You got to, give them a gift, whatever it is. Everything has to be done with your right hand. As for shaking people's hand, like women in business, like we went and we met with a lot of businesses, but I could not extend my hand to shake your hand as a woman there. I had to wait for if someone wanted to extend their hand and shake my hand, I had to wait for that. So when we were meeting people, you just had to learn to just keep your hands to your side until they want to speak with you or they want to shake your hand, which, I did not feel good about that when they were telling us about it.
I was gonna ask you, especially coming from America to that type of culture, how did you feel about that?
Oh, I felt some type of way, of course. I'm like, woman power all day, and you're telling me that I can't do that. But it's just, that's the thing about traveling, too. You have to respect other people's cultures and traditions. You can't go in and say, I'm American, and you better follow me, because that's not the mentality. To really embrace the world, you need to be very open-minded, right? And so if that's where they're at, if that's where their traditions are at, then you need to do it. That's how I feel about it. And we did go to mosques. We went to several different mosques. The Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi, which is one of the most famous ones. We went there, and you have to be covered. As females, you had to be covered the whole time. So it's hot as hell outside. I got my long sleeve on. I got my blazer on. It's just respect.
Yeah,
for sure.
For spending like that much time over there, like I don't know, you said like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Did you ever feel like, dude, like I could live here, like this would be the shit?
No, because they didn't have any Mexican food, and I love
really? They didn't have
Mexican
nothing?
Food. No.
Business idea.
The richest people in the world live there.
They started a business
going over there, baby.
I said it. I'm like, there needs to be some Mexican restaurants that are open out here. They would change these people's lives.
Dude, Tacos del Dubi. Hey, Tacos del Dubi, bro. We can set up over there. $35 for an order of tacos.
Fuck yeah, they'll buy that shit.
Hell yeah.
I had a friend from Saudi tell me that at restaurants over there you can't. Single man got to be on one side, and there's like a wall, and families and single women have to be on the other side because they can't really see each other because they don't want single man. It's their.
Well, not even that. Like even restaurants over there, there's. Did you ever experience a restaurant where like they say like maybe on the floor or like?
Oh yeah, that's tradition. Yeah. It's actually really nice. Like I think more people should try sitting on the floor. It's just more intimate.
It looks like, comfortable in a weird way. I don't know. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, and that was one thing we had to learn how to sit on the floor too, because as females you can't point your legs at anyone. Yeah. So the way that you have to sit has to be very like conservative, because if you like extend your legs out and your feet are like pointing towards someone, is very disrespectful.
Would you have to do the kind of like...
you better not point at me with them toes.
You better not try to get on the driver's side, I swear to God. Not kidding. Is there women like driving there? Because I know like in the Middle East, it's a big thing too, like women driving.
From what I remember, all of our Uber drivers and our driver, the private driver that we had the whole time we were there, was males. But I honestly cannot remember. I don't think I had a female.
Like a specific rule.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a rule or not. But I know that like we couldn't drink there either. Like foreigners cannot drink in Dubai.
What?
Yeah, so we were warned with our with the school too. They were like, you know, if you get caught, they'll take you to jail. You know, a foreigner that comes in and they catch you, like the police catch you drunk, they'll take you to jail. And like restaurants and things like in clubs, they're technically not supposed to serve foreigners alcohol.
Dang.
But people would turn their head, you know, of course.
Yeah.
And serve it to you. But if you get caught by the police, yeah, you can go to jail
I guess
for
that
that.
when foreigners coming in and fucking up their city, like they do in Mexico a lot of times, they come from the United States to go into Mexico and they just fucking feel like they can do anything, bro, because they got the money. And they're like, hey, the cop pulls us over, we fucking give him 100 pesos.
That's what I was telling Noe. In one of our podcasts. We were talking about Singapore.
Yeah.
And he was saying how it was like one of the
Beautiful
biggest
place.
cities and all that stuff. But I was saying like how their rules are like super strict. Like, you can't
Been to
like.
Singapore as well?
Yeah.
Is it true? Like,
Yeah, no. One of the cleanest places I've been in the entire world.
Yeah.
You can't spit your gum out on the floor. Like you'll get a ticket for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard like also like any kind of drugs, it's like automatic, like straight to jail, probably even the death sentence.
It could be true. I went before I was 18, so I'm not familiar with that.
Does that include weed?
Anything, dude. They don't play. Like they don't play. Like that's how they keep their cities like so high maintenance, so like luxurious, because they don't play. Like they don't.
I would say Americans are a lot more fluid when it comes down to alcohol and drugs and things like that, because like just the custom of like the Arab custom, like you don't drink alcohol. So like them saying that foreigners can't drink, it's more of like, we don't do it, why are you guys gonna bring that to our country type of thing.
Be respectful too.
Yeah, it's respect, but it's also just like America kind of adopts all these things that in a way it is kind of toxic for your body, right?
Yeah.
But they're more open to it.
Yeah, man, what the fuck? Who brought this here, dude?
I know you said that.
As I take a sip.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Don't point the legs now.
Cheers.
I've been to Thailand.
I have. Thailand's very cheap. If anyone wants to see the world, highly recommend. It's very affordable.
Where was it?
Hell yeah, dude. I would love to go there, bro.
Where?
Thailand?
Oh, Thailand.
Yeah. I think that'll be real like a cool bros trip. Thailand.
I don't know. I was just watching a Facebook edit today, and it said that's a country with the most transgender people.
Oh yeah, they have like streets.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff.
have
Lady boys.
Lady boys.
Yeah, lady boys.
Wasn't that like a Hangover movie or something?
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I'm sure it was part of it, but I know also that for a fact that's a thing.
Yeah. Asia, I think it's just in general is very cheap. Like the U.S. dollar can go a long way there. So if you need to take a first trip, just maybe scout the flights, find a cheap flight, and then go out there.
Or hit up Modern Travel Works.
Hit up Modern. You know, we'll get one of the agents to help you out.
Did you have any experiences with the like someone serving you, like those one of the lady boys? I don't want to be.
Oh no, I was a child. No.
Bro, this fucking guy.
No, because I saw in the video like you go to a restaurant.
It's an honest question.
You go to a restaurant and you think it's a girl serving you, but it's really like if you really pay attention.
What I heard is that like, the lady, like what I heard, but she traveled. We heard.
We're DACA, bro.
Okay, so this is what I saw.
We saw on YouTube that.
No, there is streets. Like it's more of like broken down into like, okay, if you're into that, this is the street that you kind of go on. And then if you want normal bars, just as anywhere else in the world, you go on the other street.
Can you imagine being stuck in one country and like not being able to leave anywhere, like not travel?
I thought about it. No, literally when well, we've got bumped off flights to where we've had to like stay longer than we wanted to. We had to kind of wait till open flight, but to me, it doesn't really bother me. I find it very cool, but my employer may not think it's the coolest thing in the world. But when the pandemic started, I thought about it. I was like, should I just fly to Trinidad? And I know they're going to close the borders, and then I get to just stay there. I thought it was going to be like a month or two. Then it turned into like a few months that the borders were closed. So I'm kind of glad.
Trust me.
I would have loved it. I had so much family there, and I was working remotely.
I feel like you would have loved. Well, I don't know. I'm speaking for myself, so I shouldn't assume. But
my family's fun.
Huh?
My family's fun.
You said being stuck at a country?
I'll take you one day. Don't worry.
Huh?
You said what? Being stuck at a country?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I feel like if, for example, like us, if we would be stuck in Mexico more than 3 weeks or 2 weeks, we'd be like, nah, man, I'm trying to go back.
For sure.
Yeah, like we're just accustomed to the U.S. life. I mean, we'll just be like, yeah, I need my Wi-Fi, Netflix, and
I wouldn't be able to do it.
What if you get stuck in Europe, like in London? They speak English.
You're gonna go broke.
Yeah, I'm gonna go broke.
The place is expensive.
And the credit card debt, one of the two. I don't want to do either. It's part of my goal. Yeah.
Canada, have you been?
I have not. I haven't traveled within the United States too. People be like, so you've been all over the world and you don't really travel within the U.S. And I'm like, yeah, that's why.
Have you been in D.C.?
I went to D.C. when I was going to when I came back from Egypt. I went to D.C.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was cool. We spent like 3 days out there. Yeah. Total. Yeah.
I love the architecture there. Like everything has like so old school and stuff.
You're going to Denver soon, right?
Yeah, at the end of the month.
Is that your first time?
First time going to Colorado.
Are you excited?
Heck yeah, I'm excited. I bought me a nice winter anti-snow jacket.
You know, where'd you go get it at?
I got it off Amazon, dude. I was looking at the prices for like a Patagonia or a New York North Face. They're like $175, $200. I was like, nah.
Oh my God.
I'm probably gonna wear it like twice. I'm just gonna get it from Amazon. So he's doing the Amazon.
No, he said he's trying to buy a house there.
I am gonna buy a house there. I'm gonna buy land out there, man.
So you're gonna move out there, or you're just gonna buy a house?
No. Maybe I might move out there. I mean, depends. I have a couple goals that if they go a certain way, then I would like to move up there when like the girls are in college or something. You know,
about 15 years, 15, 16 years.
Nah, like 18. Well, 17, I guess.
Well, your oldest one is what, 2?
Yeah, so I guess 16. Yeah.
Damn.
Maybe you should graduate early. Get to there 15.
No, yeah, man. So might do that, but well, okay. We talked about where you have gone. What about where somewhere you would like to go? Why? What's the next big step for?
She said Greece, right?
Yeah, Greece is where that was the original plan for this year. So I'm definitely going to make that happen in 2021. I haven't traveled much within Africa. So that is probably going to be something that I want to conquer over the next few years. Definitely do Cape Town. I'd like to go to Nigeria. I'd like to do a real African safari, you know. So that's probably going to be a target area for me over the next few years. Bali is up there too.
My old boss, he went to Africa, and he did like a whole 14-day. They were staying out there. They had a guide, staying out there like in the safari, did his safari thing. And did he
go to like target animals, like a specific animal? I know they have like the gorilla safaris.
No, I mean, like he was out there. He showed me a video, and there was literally like, well, he saw me a video how there was like a tiger, and there was like literally looked like not tiger, freaking lion. I'm sorry. And it looked like, you know, like literally like so much wildlife, like the movies. And he said that he didn't have it on video, but I'm sure it did happen. He said he saw a tiger completely fuck up like a little gazelle. It was crazy.
I mean, it's nature, bro. It's nature. They gotta eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see that. That's on my list to do.
Do you whenever you go out to these places, do you ever like shoot video, make a video, or like do photography or anything? Do you have any other hobbies like other than like that could tag along with your travels?
So I think like hobbies wise, I like to dance. I don't know if it's like really a hobby or not because I don't practice it as much as I used to. But photography, I'm not really good at. I went to Bora Bora with like an iPhone 7, and I was kind of upset with myself because I'm not a big technology person. You know, I should be because I'm exposed to all these amazing things, and I could probably go viral on TikTok if I really wanted to. But I don't care for it, you know. So I take my photos for me. I post it on my Instagram just so it's something that I can look back at too. It's kind of like my diary, I guess you can say. It's just it's more for me than it is for anybody else. So I hopefully maybe one day I can afford a photographer that can fly with me and just kind of capture my life. Dibs, you calling dibs?
Take me.
Calling dibs?
She's gonna sponsor you, bro.
Yeah, just pay for my flight.
Hey, no, that's one of my goals in life. If I can really help people and sponsor them, like how my mom did, whenever she got her papers, like I will definitely do it.
That's amazing.
Okay.
All right, do you guys want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break, man. But look, like I told you, man, Krystal, I just been quiet. Like I just been quiet. I just been like
I know.
Meet my like freaking awesome best friend. Like we talk all the time. So
now he's gonna be at my wedding.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And like you know, I talked to you before. I was like, oh, why I didn't do a wedding? I was like, I'm gonna do when I get my papers, whatever. I'm gonna do a destination wedding through Modern Travel Works because I know like they really are. Like I was looking it up. It was 290 reviews, 4.9 stars. Yeah, huge shout out. But all right, take a break.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, and we're back. Part 2, quick break. Krystal, how you feel?
I feel amazing, boys. How do you feel? How do you guys feel?
I feel good. I mean, I feel like we asked a lot of great questions. You had like a lot of answers. I feel like we actually for this podcast we had more questions that we could like make up in our mind or come up with as quick as possible. Because you were running through a lot of stuff, and I was just like, oh, okay, I got a question for this. And then I would save that question in the back of my head, and then you would go to another one, and I'll be like, oh, I got a question for that. And then you'll be done, and I'll be like, oh God, what were my questions?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I got a lot of questions that are just kind of all over my mind right now. But
yeah, but
go ahead, bro.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead.
All right, go.
No.
So you run a nonprofit, right?
Yeah.
Or
yes.
You're part of it?
Yes, that's probably one of my favorite things that I do is I built a platform that features nonprofit organizations from all over the world. Tim and I got together, the guy that I mentioned earlier today. He and I were on the same page of like, I wanted to do something bigger that was better than bigger than myself, like when you think about your life and what you stand for, I think it should always be positive, right? So I always wanted to do something that was impacting the world, even if it just impacted one person. The whole time that we were doing it, I knew that it was something positive, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of where Connect Kindness stemmed from. I felt like there was a lot of people in this world that wanted to help, but they never know where to start. So I created a platform that would have all these different nonprofits that if you were ever like, man, I feel like donating my time or my money to a good cause, now there's a central location where you can go and find these nonprofits. And every month I add 7 new nonprofits on there, and they range from kids to health to people bringing eyewear into the poorest countries in the world. Like it's crazy, and it's been such an amazing journey building it, being able to scale it now. And I was doing it pro bono for the past 2 years. That's how long it's been live. And someone reached out to us and is going to help us go and get it official, like to our 501c3.
Perfect.
And so he's been helping us with all the paperwork. So the first quarter of Q1 of 2021 will be official nonprofit.
That's awesome.
Do you feel like your travels had a big part in that, like having to see around the world?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think just being exposed to different cultures and different levels of income, from the places that I've traveled to and the things that I've seen, and the influence that I've had on my parents, coming from nothing to building a life here, all of that kind of resonates with you, right? And as a human being, it's just always set with me that I want to do something bigger and better and help as many people as I can. So that's where Connect Kindness stemmed from.
So Connect Kindness, you have all of these nonprofits come together on your platform, and from there on, you can distribute the help to wherever it needs to go. Is that what kind of?
Yeah, so what we do is we feature the nonprofits, meaning that they are on our website. So I build a web page for them where it links their donation page. So let me go back a little bit. So it's Connect Kindness is built on 3 pillars: share, give, do. Share means that within one click on our page, you can share that nonprofit on your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, because sharing information is just as important as donating your money or donating your time, right? The next thing is give. So there's a button there that takes you straight to that nonprofit's donation page. So we're not taking any money. Like I said, we're doing it fully pro bono because nonprofits spend a lot of money on marketing when they shouldn't, man. Like all that money should go towards the causes that they're working for and the people that they're helping. So that's what we wanted to help with. And then the last thing is do. So any type of volunteering or whatever they're fundraising that you could physically be a part of, it takes you to the direct link.
Can you tell us the website or what's the name?
Yeah, it's connectkindness.com. You guys can check it out on social media. It's @ShareGiveDo.
Okay.
Because that was a domain that we could get on social media. Go follow it. Go check it out. It's a lot of positivity in a world where there's so much negativity in the world. It's a refresher to see a positive quote or just to see someone helping somebody else and just learning about other things that's outside of your normal environment.
And all of these nonprofits are worldwide, right?
Worldwide. So we have over 200 nonprofits on the platform already. We've recorded over 50 podcasts with all these different nonprofits. So we try to speak with the founders and the executive directors so they can explain what they're doing, why they're doing it, and then the passion behind what they're doing it. Because when you hear somebody talk about something and you hear it in their soul, it just hits you a little bit different. It makes you want to be a part of it, right? And be part of that community. So that's why we started the podcast platform.
What's the podcast name?
It's called Connect Kindness. You can find it on Apple Music, Spotify, Anchor, all the major platforms.
Nice. We're sponsored by
Anchor, baby. Let's get it. And also, what was the other thing I wanted to say? Oh, and even like so how you told us earlier that $10 here in the U.S. might be kind of like nothing, but in other countries it's like $10 translates to a lot more money than it would for us, right? So I feel like if you guys that are listening think that $10 or $5 is like not good enough for anything, like it's something like that money translates to so much more money probably somewhere else in another currency that we don't even know about. And I mean, the holidays are coming up, so that's the time of giving, trying to give back. So if one of you guys like that's currently listening and feel in your heart that you want to maybe help somebody else this year,
check out ConnectKindness.com. Check out Krystal
for somebody
what she's doing.
Let's say somebody just wants to help physically. How does that work? Do they send you guys a message or?
So they actually could what we're trying to do is we're trying to bridge the gap between the nonprofit and the person that wants to help, right? So we're just kind of like the middleman in it. So they can definitely reach out to us and we'll put them in contact with the nonprofit there, or through the site they can go directly to the nonprofit page where they need to fill out the information to help or sign up for whatever it is.
Is there any local nonprofits you work with?
We have a lot of Houston ones that we work with. We're trying to set one up. It's still in the works yet, so I don't want to. I'm trying to speak it into existence right now and make sure everything falls through. But we're trying to help bring presents to refugees. There's a nonprofit here in Houston. I'm not going to name them just because there's a few that we're working with, but we're trying to bring gifts to them. So that's kind of our next event in Houston that we're doing, because we try to do one event in Houston every quarter. Or if I'm traveling that quarter, I'll try to do an event where I'm traveling to. So, for example, last year I was going to Mexico, so we got a whole bunch of school supplies. We brought down 5 or 6 bags of school supplies down to Mexico so that they could give it to the kids in need down there too.
That's awesome.
So follow Connect Kindness. All the information is always updated on there. As well. You can follow me. It's Krystal_Aziz, AZIZ. It's Krystal with a K too. But yeah.
That's freaking awesome, man. People, and this is exactly like I said, the individuals we want to have here. They just look at Arley last week talking about what he's going to go do to Mexico. Chris is doing right now. And it's just so fulfilling to hear these stories and being so motivated about giving. I actually have a very important memory. I remember, you might not remember it, but I remember it when I used to work with you at Modern. And I think you did your vision board. And you got really emotional when we talk about Connect Kindness. And it was, for me, when I saw you get emotional, it really, it stuck with me because it just showed me how passionate you were.
Yeah.
Like, how much work you put in, and how you've been able to scale it. And, when me and you speak every so often, you're like, oh, this is next. So the main point is, man, I'm just so proud of you for doing that.
Thank you, Noe. Because trying to choke me up here.
No, yeah, but it's just so dope. It's so dope.
I think it's because he probably saw it, but I worked on that thing every single morning for 7 or 8 months. People don't, in my life, I think they don't see the hard work that goes on the background, and they just see what they might see on social media, and it's just the end product, right? Or, oh, I'm in Egypt, but you don't know how many hours of work it got for me to build that money to make sure that I could do that and those things. Or same thing with Connect Kindness, how long it took me to develop the idea, to build a website, to execute, to get followers, to connect with these nonprofits. And we have nonprofits that are reaching out from, the latest one is from Italy. They're like, hey, we found your podcast. We love you guys. I just finally wanted to reach out and see if you guys could help us. And we're like, of course. That's what I'm talking about. We've had interviews with people in South Africa, Afghanistan, all these amazing nonprofits. And it's great that Noe saw it from the beginning when I had this idea, and now it's being fully
think about this, man. It was on her vision board, and now it's a reality.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's pretty freaking dope. Especially in a year like this year, in a time like right now, we need more Krystals in the world.
Thank you, man.
But also, I think it's important. I wanted to talk to you and ask you about your discipline with your work ethic.
Yeah.
Of course, we talked right now about her travel, young, and going all these cool places. But one thing about Krystal, really special about her, is that she has this crazy work ethic, crazy drive, as you may be able to tell. But also your organization and your tactics behind it. Can you speak on that? On how you develop those techniques, or does that make sense?
Yeah, no, of course. I actually before I came out to this podcast, I asked a few friends. I said, hey, what's something that you think is cool about me, or something that you think I should talk about that I resonated with you, that you think other people could connect with?
Yeah.
And Tim was one of those people, and he was like, you need to talk about how organized you are and where that comes from. And I'm like, I don't even know where it comes from. It's just, I told him the same thing that I told you guys earlier, was that I was thrown into this environment of, this is going to be a better life for you, better than what my parents had, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know how it's going to be better, but you got to figure it out, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're put into that environment, now it's figure it out, right? It's all on you. The pressure is on you to figure it out. And that's what I've been able to do, is like, if I have something in my head, okay, I know the end, and I start all the way from the beginning. Okay, what actions do I need to do? What actions do I need to take? Mm-hmm. And it's not just in my head. It's like, okay, this needs to happen next week. This needs to happen within 3 months. This needs to happen, boom, boom, boom. And when you set those kind of short-term goals and you're working towards something, you'll always get it done. Because there's a lot of amazing people in this world, and I have met a lot of amazing people that all have things in their head, and they have so much potential, but they don't take advantage of putting it down, right? And so I'm going to just give you guys a few things that I use to help me with the organization. For example, I think Google is doing an amazing job with Google Drive. Being able to access that, organize yourself on there, right? Being able to access that on your phone, or you have an idea when you're out with your friends, cool, put it in your Google Drive, put it in your notes. Always write down what's going on. Trello has been an amazing asset to my life. It's a project management platform. It's free. And so pretty much you could put a tab of like Connect Kindness, and I can list all the things I need to go down that need to be done for Connect Kindness, and then move it when it's been completed. Modern Travel Works with my business, whatever is going on. It's a great way to organize yourself. I think writing everything down, whether it's on your mirror every single day or writing it down on your phone, whether it's telling a human being, but constantly reminding yourself of your goals and what you want to achieve.
Do you journal?
I do not. I do not. I don't have a diary. I don't have a journal.
She's not soft, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not soft. I'm a thug, but I my notes are like insane. If anyone ever got access to my notes, they would know the inside of my brain.
I see that from going through a website you do from animals, education, environmental, food and water, international. I mean, it's basically
everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
Because everyone has a different heartstring, right? So whatever you can pull on, whatever attaches to them. That was the whole point of that.
So are you referencing the Connect Kindness website?
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty organized on there too. Just.
Do nonprofits also help out with animals?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch on there. Turtle, eagles, lions.
We're doing everything, baby. We're saving the world.
Yeah.
So anything awesome that I can think of, like that's how I Google it, and I'm like, is there a nonprofit for otters? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna feature that one.
there's
otters, save the otters.
Attention, Patriot Pulse.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the whole. I mean, is that I don't know. How does it work? What is a Patriot?
My biggest fear is that there's going to be so much nonprofits on there that I'll never remember all of them, right? But I do remember this one, so it's good. But right now we're at 200. I can remember all of them. So what they do is they, veterans, they kind of struggle after they come back from being in service. Mm-hmm. So they help give them dogs that will help them with the
PTSD.
Yeah. Help them with that, help them with maneuvering, whether they're blind or whatever it may be. And so they train those dogs, they raise them, they adopt them from, foster places, and then they pretty much connect them with someone that needs them and help.
Have you ever tried reaching out to any influencers to maybe shout out the page? Because I know there's I think there's one guy that, he works with a lot of animals. I think it's, the Real Tarzan. I think that's what he calls himself on Instagram. And he has a lot of followers on there.
Are you talking about the
I know what he's talking about. But
yeah, I'm trying to figure out what his real name is.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about. No, I haven't. Again, social media is not my thing. Technology is not really my thing. I'm learning it.
You have to make it your thing because that's what you're trying to promote. You're trying to say that you're trying to bridge the gap before.
No,
because they're not going to be because you don't want them to be doing the market. You don't want them to be spending marketing dollars on their nonprofits,
Yeah.
that you want to bridge that gap. So I feel like that's something that you really have to like.
No, I appreciate the advice. Definitely look into it. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been super thankful that I've been learning in the process, right? That's
Yep.
what you have to do. Do I know how to build a website? No. But did I learn? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know how to record a podcast and get the equipment and all that? No. But did I learn? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And am I doing it? Yes. So I think that people need to understand that don't lock yourself into this box that you can't do things or your environment doesn't allow you to do it, because there you have access to anything. You have Google, you have social media where you can reach out to all these people. You have YouTube. Take advantage of all of that. You're not locked into what maybe 30 years ago would have been like.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
what I find
We're in
amazing.
the information age. That's it.
That's what I find amazing. Like when I started my photography business and I want to start my Instagram, I literally looked up on YouTube like how to grow your Instagram. Right, there's so many things that you can do to be progressive on Instagram to keep moving forward.
He's kind of doing a great job.
And you do there's just a lot of information there that you could do for just doing the bare minimum. It can get you like going like to start growing your following, but whenever you like see all of the resources that they have on there and you try to go 100% on it, that you can get really big on Instagram and do all of that stuff. I feel like
we've been blessed. We actually have someone, Francesca, shout out Francesca. She's been helping us with the social medias, which has been allowed us to like handle more of the podcast. And then we have someone that just recently reached out to us and was like, hey, I want to be part of the team. And she's going to be coordinating. Her name is JoJo. She's going to be coordinating all of the actual events in Houston that go on every quarterly. So I love Connect Kindness is growing and is growing on people too, because we wouldn't be something without, community or people that actually need us. And I'm thankful for that too, because they're helping me in areas that I'm not perfect in, right? Or I don't have the time yet
to be perfect.
Yeah.
Right? And the constant thing about you, Chris, is that you keep growing. New challenge, Hagano Equipment Challenge. You have just a growth mindset.
Thank you.
Growth. You're always growing.
I mean, if you guys ever have any events like on the weekends or whatever, you could always contact me for photography. I would definitely help you guys out in that.
I love that.
Any photography stuff, I could like go to y'all's events, take a bunch of photos, send them to you guys, and y'all can drop those whenever y'all want on y'all's Instagram. So you can count on me on that.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it, man.
No
Making connections, baby.
I love that. That's what this is about. Bonding with talking, actually talking to people, not judging them on their social medias or like really sitting down and talking. People forget like how important that is. That's what you put on this earth to be, like to bond with human beings, right? Like
communicate.
That's what I like about podcasts, bro. I feel like you don't really know somebody until you actually talk to them.
Yeah.
And I've actually like some famous people who I didn't like. I've listened to a podcast with them or something like that, and I'm like, oh, you know what? They actually went through the same things that I'm going through. Yeah,
tell me about that.
Yeah, but you just think of them like they're just famous. They don't have any problems.
Yeah.
You don't actually know them.
Who's someone that you feel like you resonated with?
Can I say one? I have a good one.
Go ahead.
Drake.
No, Tekashi 6ix9ine, dude.
No.
Hold on. Exactly.
Tekashi.
That was me. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Why is this?
right.
I listened to a podcast that I always listen to whenever they drop an episode, and then I saw that one that said Tekashi 6ix9ine. I was like, oh my dude, why do they have this freaking idiot on here, bro?
Exactly, bro.
And then you start listening to that guy talk, and then you start like, he was saying like, these people want me to go to jail and not to snitch on them or anything. I have 2 daughters. Yeah. My gang is not gonna go over there and take care of my 2 daughters. They're not gonna take care of my mom. They're not gonna take care of my wife. They don't give a crap about them. And I can stay here and be like, oh, I'm gangster, and stay here and go to jail for them and all this stuff, or I can get out of here and look after them, make money, and keep providing for my whole family that everybody's depending on me. He's like,
not just that, but those people were trying to get him. Like those people,
they did him wrong. They did.
Yeah, they were trying to do him wrong.
Yeah, but then you start like actually hearing him like his voice cracking when he's talking about his daughters or like his mom and all this stuff, and then you're like,
I mean, he's a human being.
And you're like, damn, he's a human. You know?
He's being outside of the character. He's actually a human being.
Yeah. Like all of these people, you don't know them. You really don't until you like sit them down for 4 hours and you start. Yeah, they did. Yeah. And then you start you start seeing them like for the actual humans they are. Like they have like things they care about as well, you know, like family, their daughters and all that stuff. I don't know.
Just normal things that we all have.
Yeah, then I was like, that's one of mine that I listened to. That I was like, dude, why is they having this idiot?
I saw the same interview.
Yeah, I just try not to like romanticize celebrities. You know, they're just people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not one. I'm just like, oh my fucking god. I don't know. Maybe no. I'll take that back. I mean, Joe Rogan is just like the coolest guy. I think I fucking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, that's Joe Rogan. But other than that.
And like, you don't have to put him on a pedestal, but I do think you can resonate with someone. You could be like, wow, I really connect with you.
No, yeah, I connect with him. I think it was so fucking funny when it's like literally a year ago, like this weekend actually. Gabby took me to go watch him at Toyota Center, and he was like, "Shout out to all the wives and girlfriends that are bringing here with your boyfriend or husband, you know, because of the podcast." And everyone's like, "Oh, you know." And then I was like, Gabby's like, "Oh, you know."
She's like, "Ah."
That's me. I don't want to be here.
He knew what's up.
And then he followed it up with this joke, and I hope I don't fuck it up, but like he was like. I don't even want to say because I'm gonna fuck it up, and it was so fucking funny. But he was like, I also grew up without a father, and it was like so fucking funny because he was like, oh, because there's a thing that says like Joe Rogan resonates with men in their 20s that didn't grow up with a dad, and I was like, that's fucking funny. I was like, that's me as well.
Funny, but low key not funny.
Like low key sad is the tear that comes out.
Someone in the back. It was awesome, man. It was so cool. But also, Krystal, I mean, doing everything, directing, nonprofit, and you're an entrepreneur now as well.
Yes.
You want to talk about that or no?
Yeah, definitely. So your back's against the wall whenever 2020 hits, right? So what are you gonna do? Right, I'm sure everyone was in a very
wall.
Yeah, get in a fetal position.
Right, everyone's
fuck no.
Is so emotional. You know, it brought so many emotions out of me too that I feel like I haven't really dealt with in a very long time. Right, and it's just because you have time. You have time to sit and think, and you have no one to interact with, and you just really got to cope with all of that. But what I did is I kind of harnessed my time. Okay, now I'm not driving an hour away every single day. I got 2 hours now. What am I gonna do with that? You know, I'm working from home, but what can I do? And so my goal is to be an entrepreneur. It's in my heart, you know. I wake up every day and I know I'm going to be great, and it's not a confidence thing. It's really not a cocky thing at all. It's just like this feeling of like there is something in me that's just going to take over and just be impactful with my surroundings, right? So I harnessed that feeling again, and I'm like, you know what? This is not going to put me down. This pandemic, 2020 is not going to put me down. Let me spend it on something else. And I started a business. It's something small just because I wanted to do something that's going to bring me residual income without me spending a lot of time on it. Because as you can imagine, my hands is very tied up all the time.
Yeah, already.
So I got into ATM distribution and vending machine distribution across Houston. So if you know anyone that would need anything like that or those kind of services, let me know. Just reach out to me. I have a partner involved, Anthony. He's an amazing guy too. So he's cool. Kind of he's a salesperson. We had the pleasure of meeting him. But yeah, that's just something that we do on the side. It's eventually going to grow into a lot of bigger things that I'm not ready to talk about yet, just because I want to make sure that this is successful before you take on the next task or anything like that. But that's kind of where I'm at right now.
It's amazing.
So dope, man. Just one thing after another, man. That's why I was like, Krystal, we got to have her on. You know. It's so dope, Krystal. I mean, it's just exciting. I mean, you're what, 26?
26, yes.
26. I mean, just
I still get ID'd. Might look 18.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just so crazy, all the other things you're going to accomplish. I'm definitely see you in 15, 20 years. Just, you know, like I have a certain image, and I know one day it's going to just come true. You're going to pull up in your Lambo. Fucking Gucci shoes, like
it's gonna happen. I know it will.
No, it will happen.
And in the backseat is just gonna fill of like gifts that I can give to the kids around the neighborhood or something like that. Exactly. But as highly as Noe talks about me, like I feel the same way about him. There's a lot of mutual respect there. And you guys sound just as amazing too. For him to be able to do this with you guys, I know that he's also seeing that type of greatness in you guys too.
Oh, 100%. A lot about energy, man. Don't waste that.
Yep.
Don't waste that. But how do you feel about China and Russia? Nah, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'll let y'all talk. Now's my time to drink.
Okay. You're going to be the host now since you know how to podcast. You're going to interview us.
I could be the host. Y'all want to switch it up?
All right. Everyone close their eyes and open them into No, that's dope.
No, I do have it's kind of like a question.
What's up, bro?
You're all about giving back, right? Like,
yeah, I try to.
So, I mean, in a way, why a Lambo? You said just because it's your dream car. Or what?
I think that everyone has goals and dreams, you know, and you can do good along the way. But somehow, when I was little, I saw a Lambo, and I was like, wow. To me, when I get that, I made
that's
it.
When
I
you
hit
know
my
you
goal,
made it.
right?
Yeah.
And so you can work your ass off for as long as you want to, right? But you're always going to work towards a goal, something that you feel finally you will be content with yourself, and you will be, because in the process you can get lost, right? You're doing all these amazing things and you don't give yourself any type of credit that you're doing it, right? So to me, my goal is when I get that Lambo, I'm like gonna sit in it and probably cry for a little bit before I actually drive it, to be like, I made it, I did it, you know?
You telling yourself, I made it.
That's me telling myself I made it, right? Now, when I get older and I can't drive it no more, maybe I'll donate it. I don't know, but
you don't have to.
That's
you can just
give it to me.
No, I mean, like, I was watching a YouTube series. It's called Drive or something like that. It's a YouTube channel where they just show off like cool old school cars, right? And this lady, she lives in Colorado. She's already like in her 60s, and she collects Corvettes, and she has like this super nice Stingray Corvette, like 67 Stingray. He's like, she's talking about it like with so much love. She's like, I got these wheels forged in North Detroit with this back flare fender, and then the guy was just like looking at her, and she's like, she's his grandma, and she's like, I just love driving it everywhere, and I just go down to Denver and I just ride it, and it just looks so beautiful and so peaceful, and I was like, damn, she really like loves it.
Dude, I've been on the freeway sometimes, and I've been seeing like, you know, this OG just pull past me up in a Corvette, white hairs, and talking about how my shirt, some Ray-Bans, just
chilling,
like,
chilling, like they just buy it just to cruise. They don't even want.
What's your dream car?
Well, I mean, mine really is a S550, man. A Mercedes S550.
Okay.
It's a big body Benz, man. That's the car I want, just because of like the field I'm in, you know. But maybe once like I'm completely done with all my responsibilities and goals, when it's like, you know, you made it, and then you kind of like chill, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to push as hard. I probably would give me like I mean, I always like the Stingrays, but I don't know, I'm a big dude, so it's like I think S550 is just really what it be for me, you know.
What about you guys? What's your dream cars?
My dream car would probably be a McLaren. Those things look so nice, so futuristic, so
those are nice.
Aerodynamic. I don't know. I think that would look super cool. Just riding with the doors open, right, on the side. I think that would look super cool. So.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really have a dream car. It's just
you
like,
said the other day you said a Silverado.
That no, it really.
A dually drop.
My dream is not even a car. It's a house. Like, I'm sitting in my house with a bunch
but we're talking about cars. Don't try to come up with us.
No, that's what I'm saying. Though. I don't have
Well, it's true.
My dream is actually a family.
Yeah, some people don't have a dream car.
I don't.
You know,
well,
some people
don't
certain things.
That's kind of like how when you asked me that question, I really don't have one. Like, I don't
have
what
a
a
car.
S550 looks like. No,
yeah, I only know because of you, because the conversation we've had in the past. But
if you ask me, would you rather drive a Corvette or an F-250? I will tell you an F-250.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, they probably they can spend.
Everyone
you can pay
has
the same amount of money for a Corvette.
Yeah, it's
for
the same
sure.
thing.
Yeah,
but it's not okay. I guess you could say like a F-250, but it's not.
I'm
really
trying to get like you, man. I'm trying to get my dream car. He already has it.
I don't have it,
but
I have a 2500. So
okay.
Same thing.
Yeah,
same thing.
I don't really have like a
all right, so let's go around. Like, what is your 10-year goal?
10-year goal.
Oh no, I have a better question. What's your life goal? Like, this is literally one of my favorite questions to ask someone.
Okay,
what is your life goal?
I don't want to be so simple and say just be happy and happy.
No. You have to articulate something.
Dig a little bit. Like
dig. Close your eyes.
Okay, Martin. Yeah, I'll think about it.
What? How am I gonna? I was just barely about to like close my eyes.
Or you know, we go ahead.
No. We'll go like this.
Okay, so like around what age do you think like you?
No,
it's your life. It's your life. Like, what is your life goal?
Yeah,
my life goal. My life goal is to, like, okay, so not the cheesy part of being happy, right?
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
what I'm saying, like.
What does happiness mean to you?
Yeah, like, what is that happiness is gonna?
Well,
mean
I guess
what
happiness.
Look like?
Yeah, happiness. What it means to me, I would feel like,
like, what will you describe me your life goal as? How does your life look like? Where do you work? What do you do? What does your freedom look like? Like,
okay, I would probably say have my own business.
In what?
Dang, that's a good one. I mean,
that's what we do.
I would think.
Welcome to the Krystal Podcast.
I would imagine like maybe something having to do with maybe programming, serving data. I don't know, like some probably even like algorithms and helping people with automation, as in not automation as in how do I say it? Like
just a programming side,
like a programming side, like offering some kind of software, a software company. Being financially stable, having a family, having a house. I mean, obviously, like all the normal stuff, but living somewhere where I'm really connected to the outdoors. I really always loved the outdoors, and like I was telling you here, I always wanted to live. I always want to live somewhere where there's actual seasons. Because here in Houston, you only have super hot summer and then super warm
2
winter.
weeks of winter. That's about
it. So I mean, somewhere where there's
2-3 weeks hit though. Sometimes.
Yeah,
facts.
And I mean, just somewhere where like everybody that I love is taken care of. Nobody's actually struggling, and and having the income to give back and help people that really need help. And
great answer.
Yeah, so.
For sure.
Noe?
Yeah. I know mine, so I can go last.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I want to hear.
Man, well, I'm just like a planner, man. Like I'm just a goal guy. But I guess my life goal is to end up get my PhD, be a professor. So like for right now to 30, I want to work, and so I have 2 more years until I'm eligible for an executive MBA. And you know that big thing that happened. They do tuition reimbursement up to $6,000 after your 3rd year.
Wow.
So they'll give me $6,000 to go to school a year, and so they'll pay for it. Get my MBA, which will allow me to go into the executive level in my field, and then I think I just want to grind it out, make a fuckload of money. Because I'm at that step where I'm just blessed to do that. And then either literally take. I mean, I don't know, like, this is the hardest part I haven't figured out yet. How am I going to get my PhD and also maintain, like, a high responsibility job? You know, because a PhD is a lot of work. But the reason why I want to do a PhD is because I want to be a professor. So I want to be a professor at university. I like to teach. I want to be a teacher because I don't like the school system and the way it's built. But at a university, I think that'll be super dope.
You have more control how you do it.
Yeah, and actually really teach people, you know? I mean, I had some professors that were so dope that would, like, change my life and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, and then I guess, like, you know, the ultimate goal is to start a scholarship fund, you know, be that wealthy. Not even financially stable. I feel like financially stability is, like, because we come from, like, you know, first-gen DACA recipients, I think it's not a good thing to strive for financial stability. We need to look past that, you know? Like, everyone here has that. So many people, that's just, like, what they have. So why are we going to make it a goal to just be par, to just be okay, to just be 500? I don't want financial stability. I want wealth for my family and kids. So, like, investing in real estate, stocks, gold, things like that will carry value, art as well. So that's what I want. Like, I want wealth for my family. For my bloodline, for me moving forward, their life would just always be different, you know? So, but like, that's why I think it through, because I have like all right, you hit this goal, I hit this goal, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. But I think that's different for everybody. Not everybody wants wealth. Some people just want to be happy, you know? And everybody's definition of happiness is different.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't talking about no one else. You asked me about mine, so. Yeah.
And everybody's definition of success is different.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I've always had a view for myself. It's kind of like a mental thing. I'm pulling up to my property, fucking gates open. I see my dogs running towards me. I love dogs. I see my wife, my kids. I talked to Noah before. I want to adopt. I want to be able to give back. I want my kids to be good.
How many kids?
I want to have 2 and adopt 2.
Nice.
But that's only if I'm like financially doing well, where I can provide for them, and actually, like, hey, they tell me, hey, Dad, I want to go to this university, but just for me to tell them, I got you, don't worry about it. So I don't mind working for a company, Like you said, everybody's success is different.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as my kids and my family are good, we're good.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just think like, you know, to Martin's point, like I understand that like not everyone's about money, but the thing is like I think it's important, you know, to understand that like my thing is not about money. It's the opportunities it provides, like the life that it gives.
Makes it a little easier.
A lot easier. And also because I've been exposed to like people who come from this life and the opportunities they have, and they were able to be given. And it's kind of ironic because I'm like at the same spot as them, you know. But at the end of the day, like they didn't have to work as hard. I mean, I do want my kids to work hard, but just not through all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And then I want to set them up so they can set their kids up. You know what I'm saying?
Set them up for success.
I challenge anyone that is listening to this podcast to ask 3 people around you that same question, and you would be surprised on how much you can learn about the people around you and what they're actually trying to chase and what their ambition is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's also, probably our listeners know this by now, but it's just also, I mean, it's cool that if you hang out with people who just don't have one, to also let that tell you something as well, you know? And, I mean, you can keep it real all you want, but, I mean, you are who you surround yourself with. This is why I surround myself with people like ourselves, like Krystal, and this energy, this vibe, these ideas we talk about. When do we ever, like, gossip or talk about anybody else?
I don't remember the last time that we even talked about it.
No, we just be like, oh, what's this? What's that? You know what I'm saying? Ideas. And I love that, you know, so.
What about you, Krystal?
My life goal, because I've asked so many people this question, of course I have to prepare an answer.
She set us up.
No, truly, I want to own my own airlines.
Oh,
and how many people do you meet that say that they want to do that? You know, it's a big task, but I don't see it as a big task. I think it's something that I could truly accomplish, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. So I know that passion will motivate all the work that needs to go into it. And then I would love to be like, hey, pilot, let's go to Jamaica today, you know, or, you know, like that kind of lifestyle. I would love that. Like, that would bring me so much happiness. Of course, a family, too. Like, I always tell people I want 10 kids, and they think I'm joking, but I'm going to make enough money to make sure that it happens. But
you adopt?
Yeah. Adopting, I would love to give back as much as I can. But that comes with knowing, like you said, your financial ability, right? Yeah. You can't stretch yourself to where they don't have the same lifestyle that they could have if you did do it in you know, when the money's coming in or how big you get. So I think there has to be some type of responsibility, especially in this world right now. Like, there's so much craziness going on, and I think parenting and just giving the best opportunity you can to the next generation is what they need.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. 100% agree. So, Krystal, what else? What are some cool thoughts you got? What would you like to lead us off with here?
Cool things that I would like to talk about or just mention would be
on the spot.
Connect kindness.
No, not even connect kindness. I think I think there needs to be more attention that is brought, and I love that I'm doing this podcast with you guys with immigrants. It's something that I'm truly very passionate about, and I know my family's very passionate about, is that they look down at immigrants in this country, America specifically, but truly that's what this country was made of. We're a freaking melting pot, and if you don't understand that, you don't respect that, then you need to look at life in a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at life with love in your heart. You know what I'm saying? With this goodness outlook, and it's only going to bring bigger opportunities to you, more humbling experiences, and better friendships. Because when you put that type of love into your friendships, your relationships, your work, like, there's nothing but good things that come out of that. Like, I cannot preach more on that, because that people are like, how are you successful, or how you been able to get to this? And it's like, I changed my mindset. I'm not going to live in an angry world where everybody's just miserable. I'm going to live in a world where I see goodness, and I'm going to push for goodness. And I want people around me to love and be committed. And I just have a different outlook on life, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just, it comes from a lot of love that's built up in me. And I really want people to, the people that I think need it the most is the colored people in this country right now and the immigrants. So that's kind of something that, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that's how I feel.
No, I think that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful that you have those innate feelings for the world. I think I've talked about it even like last or maybe a couple podcasts ago. That when you have that innate just love, it just you're like dictating your like everything about your life, right? Because you everything starts with love. You try to see the love in people and or like the good in people because of that love, you know. Because there's people who just see everything with like half empty cup, you know, the pessimistic side. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And you got to tell people too, like when you see passion in them and you see potential, like don't be scared to say like, hey man, like I love you and I think you could be doing more and you could be doing better, you know, because that can go a long way for someone that's very confused or kind of lost within themselves and being like emotionally exposed to how you feel and what you're thinking and what you're doing. I think that's something that our generation lacks, and it's something that, you know, if you start being like that with even within your friendships, you'll be amazed at how many turning points you'll be able to be exposed to in other people's lives. And they'll be like, oh, well, I remember when you told me this. And that really, that kind of changed me a little bit. And that just makes you feel like, hey, your words are being listened to and people are looking up to you. And it's just like so much mutual respect.
I feel like I do that a lot with a lot of my friends that are really like talented, I feel like. And I'm always like, hey, like you should start a YouTube channel. Like I know a lot of people will like tune in to watch this or tune in to watch that or whatever. And I'm always like trying to tell them like, I think you will blow up on YouTube. I think you'll do this. But then also like I also tell myself like, you're preaching all this, but you also need to get on your grind too. Like get on there and start doing your own stuff too. So I mean, I don't know. I thought that was something like that I kind of connected with you, that telling other people like, hey, you're talented as hell.
Yeah.
Because some people don't see it. Some people don't realize how talented they are, or feel like their talent is just like, it's something that I do on the side. It can never be my full-time job, you know? Like that's not. So I feel like I think people need to be reminded, like, if you don't think that you can, like, there's people doing it out there that take the chances, take the risk, and stay consistent with it and follow through, and eventually like doing your craft that you love. And when people see that you love that thing, I feel like the money comes after, like right afterwards, you know?
I mean, even if it's like not about that a person like going on pursuing that as a hobby, but just reminding your friends like you love them or you appreciate them goes a long way. I mean, you can never know what kind of day someone's having.
And reminding yourself that you love yourself too. You know, that's huge. Don't be too hard on yourself when things don't seem like they're going right. It's just 24 hours, right? The next day is something else.
Yeah, I love this quote. It's like it's a bad day, not a bad life.
Yeah.
You know, don't let a bad day make you think you have a bad life. And that's so true. The corniest quote I always see, and I see it all over the place, is like, if somebody would steal 10 cents from you and you had 84,000, I'm like, that's fucking funny.
Would you let them ruin your day?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, but for sure, man. But Krystal, thank you so much, really, for coming on the podcast. It was amazing speaking to you, and I mean, I knew that's why I was so quiet, because I just knew a lot about you and how awesome you are. But I'm so glad you got to meet Yair, Martin, and
thank you so much for coming. Yeah,
also for our listeners. But Martin, anything else, man? Anything closing?
No, just like everybody go check out Connect Kindness. Make sure
and sure
help out if you can. Remember that I'm always here for you. If you need help with photography, I got you. Any events that you guys have, I'm more than happy to go over there and take some photos of you guys or whatever. But yeah, no, Yair.
Again, like Noe said, thank you so much for coming. And life's all about giving back.
Yeah, we have someone here who is the master of that.
Hey man, like my life goal is just to inspire, right? So if that's what I could do to anyone listening today, then that's amazing, right? And so I just want to say again, thank you so much for the opportunity. What you guys are doing is amazing. I cannot wait till this goes viral and people can hear about, you know, just your guys' personalities and what you guys have been through, because it is truly a blessing. And just thank you from the bottom of my heart. That's how I appreciate it. You guys can follow me. I'm very, you know, if you ever need something, feel free to reach out to me. It doesn't even have to be about modern, Travel Works, or Connect Kindness. Just anything in life that if I can help and I've been through it, I will give you the tools. So feel free to follow me, Krystal Aziz, Krystal, last name Aziz, Aziz.
Aziz. There we go. Thank you so much, Krystal. Really love having you on. It was amazing to just have them here, like I said about you. So thank you so much. High five. It's been amazing. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
See you guys.
Bye.